In a small town surrounded by whispering woods and ancient secrets, there stood an old school, its walls echoing with the laughter and cries of generations past. This school, with its creaky floors and dusty classrooms, held a mystery that would soon unfold. One crisp autumn morning, a new student named Ethan stepped into the history classroom for the first time. He was a curious boy with bright eyes and an adventurous spirit. As he took his seat, he noticed the room was adorned with old maps and portraits of historical figures, their eyes seemingly following him as he moved. The teacher, Mr. Thompson, a man with a passion for history, began the lesson. "Today we will explore the legends of our town," he announced, his voice booming with enthusiasm. "There's a tale of a ghost that haunts this very school, a spirit of a girl who vanished many years ago." Ethan's heart raced with excitement. He leaned forward, eager to hear more. "What happened to her?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. Mr. Thompson paused, a mysterious smile crossing his face. "They say she was a bright student named Lily. One fateful night, she disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of her spirit roaming the halls." As the lesson continued, Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. The other students exchanged nervous glances, but Ethan was captivated. He wanted to know more about Lily and the secrets hidden within the school's walls. After class, Ethan approached Mr. Thompson. "Do you think Lily's ghost is real?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mr. Thompson looked thoughtful. "Many believe she is still here, searching for something she lost. If you're brave enough, perhaps you could uncover the truth." That evening, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling of intrigue. He gathered his best friend, Sophie, a girl with a knack for adventure and a love for mysteries. "We have to find out what happened to Lily," he declared, determination shining in his eyes. Sophie grinned, her excitement matching Ethan's. "Let's meet at the school tomorrow after dark. We'll explore the history classroom and see if we can find any clues." As they made their plans, little did they know that the spirit of Lily was watching, her presence lingering in the shadows, waiting for someone to uncover her story. And so, the stage was set for an adventure that would lead Ethan and Sophie into the depths of history, where the past and present intertwined, and where the truth about the ghost in history class awaited to be revealed. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the old school, Ethan and Sophie stood outside the heavy wooden doors, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The air was thick with anticipation, and the faint rustle of leaves whispered secrets of the night. "Are you ready for this?" Sophie asked, her voice barely above a whisper. She clutched a flashlight tightly, its beam flickering in the dim light. Ethan nodded, determination etched on his face. "We have to find out what happened to Lily. If she's really here, we need to help her." With a deep breath, they pushed the doors open, the creak echoing through the empty halls. The familiar scent of old books and polished wood filled the air, but tonight it felt different, charged with an energy that sent shivers down their spines. They made their way to the history classroom, the room where Lily's story had begun. As they entered, the beam of Sophie's flashlight danced across the walls, illuminating the dusty maps and faded portraits. But something caught Ethan's eye. A small, ornate box sitting on the teacher's desk, partially hidden beneath a stack of old papers. "What's that?" he asked, pointing toward the box. Sophie approached cautiously, her heart racing. "Let's check it out." As they opened the box, a cloud of dust erupted into the air, and inside, they found a collection of old letters, yellowed with age. Ethan carefully picked one up, its edges frayed and fragile. The handwriting was elegant, yet the words were filled with sorrow. "It's a letter from Lily," Ethan exclaimed, his eyes wide with disbelief. She wrote about feeling lost and alone, like no one understood her. Sophie leaned closer, reading over his shoulder. "She mentions a secret place in the school where she used to go to think. Maybe that's where we should look next." With renewed purpose, they decided to search for this secret place. The letter hinted at a hidden room behind the library, a place where Lily would escape from the pressures of school life. They hurried down the dimly lit hallway, their footsteps echoing in the silence. As they reached the library, the atmosphere shifted. The air felt heavier, and a sudden chill swept through the room. Ethan and Sophie exchanged nervous glances but pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. "Look." Sophie pointed to a bookshelf that seemed slightly ajar. "Maybe it's behind there." Ethan pushed the shelf gently, and to their surprise, it creaked open, revealing a narrow passageway shrouded in darkness. "This must be it," he said, his voice filled with awe. They stepped inside, the beam of the flashlight illuminating the walls covered in old drawings and notes. It was a hidden sanctuary, a place where Lily had poured out her heart and dreams. But as they explored, they felt an unsettling presence, as if they were not alone. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the room, barely audible yet haunting. "Help me!" Ethan and Sophie froze, their hearts racing. "Did you hear that?" Ethan whispered, his eyes wide with fear. Sophie nodded, her breath hitching in her throat. "We have to find out what she needs. She's reaching out to us." And so, with courage in their hearts and the weight of Lily's story upon them, Ethan and Sophie prepared to delve deeper into the mystery, unaware of the challenges and revelations that awaited them in the shadows of the past. As Ethan and Sophie stood in the hidden sanctuary, the air around them felt electric, charged with the weight of untold stories and lingering emotions. The soft whisper that had echoed through the room hung in the air like a fragile thread, beckoning them to uncover its source. "Lily," Ethan called out, his voice trembling slightly. "Is that you?" For a moment, silence enveloped them, thick and suffocating. Then, as if in response, the temperature dropped, and a faint glow began to illuminate the far corner of the room. Shadows danced along the walls, twisting and turning as if they were alive. Sophie clutched Ethan's arm, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and fascination. "What is happening?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I don't know, but we have to stay calm," Ethan replied, trying to steady his racing heart. "We're here to help you, Lily." Suddenly, the glow intensified, revealing a figure, a translucent silhouette of a girl, her features soft and ethereal. It was Lily, her expression a blend of sadness and hope. "Thank you for coming," she said, her voice echoing like a distant melody. Ethan and Sophie exchanged astonished glances, their fears momentarily forgotten. "Lily, we found your letters," Ethan said, stepping forward. "We want to understand what happened to you." Lily's gaze drifted to the floor, her voice barely above a whisper. "I felt so alone, trapped in a world that didn't understand me. I wrote those letters to escape, to share my pain, but no one ever read them." Sophie's heart ached for the ghostly girl. "We're here now. We want to listen. What do you need from us?" "I need to be free," Lily replied, her voice trembling. "There's a secret hidden in this school, a truth that binds me to this place. If you can uncover it, I can finally rest." Ethan felt a surge of determination. "We'll help you, Lily. But how do we find this truth?" Lily pointed toward a dusty old trunk in the corner of the room. "Inside that trunk lies the key to my past. You must open it and discover what I couldn't." With a nod of understanding, Ethan and Sophie approached the trunk, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they lifted the heavy lid, a cloud of dust erupted, and they were met with a collection of old photographs, journals, and mementos, fragments of Lily's life. Sophie picked up a faded photograph of a group of students, Lily among them, her smile bright and carefree. "Look at her," she said softly. "She was so happy." Ethan rifled through the journals, his eyes scanning the pages filled with Lily's thoughts and dreams. She wrote about her struggles, the pressure to fit in, and the loneliness that consumed her. "It's heartbreaking." As they delved deeper into the trunk, they discovered a small, intricately carved locket. Ethan held it up, the light catching its surface. "What's this?" Lily's eyes sparkled with recognition. "That locket holds a memory, a moment of joy that I cherished." It's the last piece of my heart that remains here. If you can return it to the place where it belongs, I will be free." Sophie looked at Ethan, determination shining in her eyes. "We have to find out where it belongs. We can't let her be trapped here any longer." "Thank you," Lily said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You are my only hope." With the locket in hand and a newfound purpose, Ethan and Sophie prepared to embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind Lily's past. They knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they were determined to help the lost spirit find peace and, in doing so, perhaps discover something profound about themselves. With the locket safely tucked away in Ethan's pocket, the air around them buzzed with anticipation. The weight of their mission pressed heavily on their shoulders, but the flicker of hope ignited their spirits. They knew they had to uncover the truth behind Lily's past to set her free. Ethan and Sophie made their way through the dimly lit corridors of the old school, their hearts racing with each step. The walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, and shadows danced in the corners of their vision. They needed to find the place where the locket belonged, but where could that be? "Do you remember anything from the letters?" Sophie asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Maybe there's a clue in there." Ethan nodded, pulling out the journal they had found in the trunk. "Let's see. There has to be something that points us in the right direction." As he scanned the pages, he stumbled upon a passage that caught his eye. "Here," he exclaimed, his finger tracing the words. Lily wrote about a special tree in the schoolyard, one that she and her friends used to gather around during lunch. She called it the Whispering Willow. Sophie's eyes lit up. "That must be it. The locket could be connected to that tree. We have to go there." The night air was cool and crisp as they stepped into the schoolyard, the moon casting a silvery glow over the landscape. In the center stood the Whispering Willow, its branches swaying gently in the breeze, as if beckoning them closer. "Do you think the locket belongs here?" Ethan asked, glancing at the tree with a mix of hope and uncertainty. Sophie approached the tree, her fingers brushing against the rough bark. "Feels right. This is where Lily found joy with her friends. Maybe the locket holds a memory tied to this place." Ethan took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Let's place the locket at the base of the tree and see what happens." As they knelt down, Ethan carefully removed the locket from his pocket. It glimmered in the moonlight, a small but powerful symbol of Lily's past. With a gentle hand, he placed it on the ground, right at the foot of the Whispering Willow. "Lily, we're here for you," Sophie said softly, her voice filled with sincerity. "We want to help you find peace." Suddenly, the air around them shifted. A warm glow enveloped the tree, and the branches began to sway more vigorously, as if responding to their presence. Ethan and Sophie exchanged astonished glances, their hearts pounding with excitement. "Look," Ethan pointed as a faint silhouette began to materialize beside the tree. It was Lily, her spirit radiant and free, her expression one of pure joy. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice like a gentle breeze. "You've brought me back to the place where I felt most alive." Sophie felt tears welling in her eyes. "We just wanted to help you find your peace, Lily." Lily smiled, her ethereal form shimmering in the moonlight. "You have done more than that. You've reminded me of the love and friendship I once had. The locket was a piece of my heart, and now it can finally return to where it belongs." As the locket began to glow brighter, the branches of the Whispering Willow swayed in a rhythmic dance, creating a melody that filled the air. It was a song of release, a celebration of memories long cherished. "Now I can be free," Lily said, her voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you for believing in me and for helping me find my way home." With that, Lily's spirit began to dissolve into a cascade of shimmering light, her laughter echoing softly in the night. Ethan and Sophie watched in awe as the glow enveloped the tree, illuminating the entire yard with a warm, golden hue. As the last remnants of Lily's spirit faded into the night, Ethan and Sophie felt a profound sense of peace wash over them. They had not only helped a lost soul find her way but had also discovered the power of friendship and compassion within themselves. With hearts full of hope and a newfound understanding of the past, they turned to leave the schoolyard, knowing that they had made a difference, not just for Lily, but for themselves as well. As the last remnants of Lily's spirit faded into the night, Ethan and Sophie stood in the glow of the whispering willow, their hearts filled with a mix of joy and relief. They had accomplished what they set out to do, but the night was still young, and the echoes of the past lingered in the air. "Do you think she's really gone?" Sophie asked, her voice soft and contemplative. "I mean, do you think she's finally at peace?" Ethan nodded, still feeling the warmth of Lily's presence. "I believe so. She found her way back to the memories that mattered most to her. We helped her remember who she was." As they made their way back toward the school building, a sudden chill swept through the air, causing them to pause. The atmosphere felt different, almost electric, as if the very fabric of the night was shifting. "Did you feel that?" Sophie asked, glancing around nervously. "Yeah," Ethan replied, his instincts on high alert. "It's like something is still here." Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, swirling around them like a haunting melody. Ethan and Sophie exchanged worried glances, unsure of what was happening. The shadows seemed to deepen, and the air thickened with tension. "Maybe we should go back," Sophie suggested, her voice trembling slightly. But before they could turn, a figure emerged from the darkness, a tall, shadowy silhouette that loomed before them. It was a man, his features obscured, but his presence was undeniably powerful. "Who are you?" Ethan demanded, stepping protectively in front of Sophie. The figure took a step closer, and the whispers intensified. "I am the guardian of this place," he said, his voice deep and resonant. "I have watched over the spirits that linger here, and I have seen your bravery. What do you want from us?" Sophie asked, her voice steady despite her fear. "I seek to thank you," the guardian replied, his form beginning to shimmer. "You have freed Lily, and in doing so, you have restored balance to this realm. But there are others who still need your help." Ethan and Sophie exchanged glances, their curiosity piqued. "What do you mean?" Ethan asked. "There are spirits trapped in the shadows, lost and forgotten. They cannot find their way home without guidance. You have the power to help them, just as you helped Lily." Sophie felt a surge of determination. "We want to help. We can't just leave them behind." The guardian nodded, a faint smile appearing on his shadowy face. "Then you must follow the path of the lost. Listen to the whispers, and they will lead you to those in need. But be warned, the journey will not be easy." With a wave of his hand, the guardian conjured a shimmering light that illuminated the path ahead. "Trust in yourselves, and you will find the strength to face whatever lies ahead." As the light enveloped them, Ethan and Sophie felt a rush of energy coursing through their veins. They were no longer just students. They were now protectors of the lost, destined to help those who had been forgotten. "Are you ready?" Ethan asked, looking at Sophie with determination. "More than ever," she replied, her eyes shining with resolve. And so, with hearts full of courage and a newfound purpose, Ethan and Sophie stepped into the unknown, ready to embrace the challenges that awaited them. They had begun a journey that would not only change the lives of others but would also transform their own. As they ventured forth, the night sky sparkled with stars, each one a reminder of the spirits they would help and the stories they would uncover. The adventure had just begun, and together, they would illuminate the darkness. Moral message. In the journey of Ethan and Sophie, we learn that courage and compassion can illuminate even the darkest paths. The story teaches us that helping others, especially those who are lost or forgotten, is a noble pursuit that can lead to profound transformations, not only for those we assist but also for ourselves. It reminds us that every individual has a story worth telling, and by listening and understanding, we can bring healing and closure to those in need. The bonds we form through acts of kindness can empower us to face challenges together, fostering a sense of community and connection. Ultimately, the moral of the story is that we all have the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. By embracing our roles as guardians of hope and compassion, we can create a brighter world, one act of kindness at a time.